You're here on a good day. Not because it's the beginning of the week, but because, well, the story must continue. Daily Life has left off with a few questions, gaping more into the void, inverse spirits, and whatever may be left. There's plenty of fun to be had, and that's exactly what I'm expecting. Maybe at the expense of Shido himself. But going off the OVA, going off the movie and whatnot, there's plenty of background and plenty of drama, plenty of interactions to be had. And I wonder if he's going to tone it down a little from some of the other elements of the show. I just hope episode 1 of season 3 isn't going to be quite like 1 of 2, because I believe that was a bit of a filler one with some character interactions that shouldn't have actually happened. At least with Toka going back to overly distrustful and jealous. Maybe they've learned from their mistakes. One way to find out, though: strap yourself in, get a drink. Let's begin. Once again, being reminded of the spacequakes, the power that they're actually fighting up against here. Okay, it wasn't this intense last time we saw it, so maybe they got a little boost in budget. You see, this is why I put off washing the dishes or doing housework. You see, it's all for naught if there's a spacequake around. Quite a big may or may not be the cause of it. We don't even know, and yet the DM and whatnot to... You always love a lunch that gloops and bubbles. I mean, it should be sweet. There's a hot pot with that waffle cone, though, holding its own quite well. Was it a bit of each of their favourites? There we go. I mean, it can't be bad, it would just be horribly balanced. If anything, the ice cream would add a bit of creaminess to it, maybe bring up the other flavours. Really? You couldn't have chosen anything... And the stick? You know, when you can see the souls of the damned staring back at you from your food. So when you know you might want to return it to the kitchen. Yeah, all he said is not bad. Could be inedible. I do like this slight subversion though, so this looks atrocious, but it's actually fairly flavoured. Not everything is as it seems on the surface. I wonder if that's going to be a through point of this episode. Apparently she's busy. Speak of the devil. I'm surprised she's not incredibly out of breath from running all the way here. She's a phony. A fraud. Well, at least it won't cost them money. Sacrificing one of them. At least protect the food. I was about to say a dropkick of justice, but okay, you don't need to launch yourself in like that then. Just a casual afternoon at this household. How close is Origami going to get? Going to be stalking outside the... Why do some of the faces look off? Stalking outside the windows. An astute observation. Make them feel better. Can he transfer some of his healing powers? That could be the next step. She seems in intense agony. She's not going to be left out of this accident and emergency case. You changed your... yeah, the ribbons just for that? And this is the time when they realise their mistake. Two? What do you mean, two? How do you know we had hot pot? No questions going to be asked there. Exotic. I'm going to stick around and see the aftermath. Well, at least the spacequake alert has saved him from that food. A date with destiny. And I do like the leftover... yeah, some of these took more damage than others, but... yeah, the leftover devastation that hasn't actually been fixed up. Well, it's not covered in graffiti. You can tell they're in Japan. Things here don't even have to be ruined before that. Oh, that looks quite spectacularly nice. Somehow it escaped the blast. Ah. So soon? We're 7 minutes in and you're... what, introducing a new spirit? Who didn't actually hang around to be found. Surely if the ASD keep attacking and, shooting first without asking questions, Ratatoskr and whatnot would have been able to pick up on that signal, considering they can find anything else minute. A spirit that comes up with a conversation first, even if it's a little... intense in her introduction. Like always, one of these is not like the other. And wait, no one voted for C. He has the right qualities. I mean, that's why he was picked for this job. Please don't let the microphones be on. Don't let her hear it. That didn't even... It just hit him in the bonds with a lollipop thing. It would not have hurt. Unless he enjoys being sticky. I wish I didn't say that. I mean, they told him what to say, but they didn't tell him how to say it. He put in the act for it. That's... So is she going to be putting on this nice act and you're going to go rapidly downhill? Or is there some yokai kind of affiliations? Careful how you answer this one. Ah. Can we start a list? We need to write down everything that you think. And well, he is astute in his observations, apparently. Is this all it takes to stop spirits from going on a rampage? Like this? Ah. So is this what, like a... Is she a human turned spirit as well? Much like Miku's, things were better as a spirit. We got her whole get up like a witch, so that makes it. They're still explosive though. The missile knows where it is. So yeah, it is as kind of that bounce. That kind of cartoonishly, comically slapstick, and with the effects as well as like is her hat getting bigger, as it was in the season 2 premiere? So I know the disguise. What was that just now? I mean, considering that he just asked if she's okay and didn't have any reaction to what happened mid-sneeze. Okay. Remove him from his suffering of this world. Usually when someone declares war and immediate repercussions, they don't then just fly off. Yeah, his days are numbered, just not saying how many numbers. Oh, Christ. I'm better like this. The sneeze, the change in appearance, and now the... particularly... I see. His life is ruined. Actually, in this case, he has no idea. Well, that one's not that much of a surprise. She probably enjoyed that one. As long as it was actually him, could she see through it? Does he have video evidence to prove he was not in the school? Yeah, let her prepare. Nothing that she didn't enjoy. No? But she heard about it and didn't want to be left out. I mean, yeah, that was the problem. The fact he didn't. Her mind works in amazing ways. She has been stewing over these fantasies all morning, hasn't she? Wait, when did the kids come in? I don't want to know who they were applied to. I can only imagine. Are we sure we haven't seen his friend with the phone recently? I mean, he had a sudden and intense bout of amnesia. Excuse me? This fake Shido might have something here. Does he have no defenders in this class? One of the sisters there doing a lot to try and prop up that act. Right, eye for an eye and all that. Oh no. So, all of these acts right now, and that was the only true thing that happened. But yeah, all of these things that occurred, and especially to the teacher, and what? No repercussions, no expulsion. And all for, well, not really a misconception or not. The voice is kind of off. Shido doesn't have that kind of confidence. Unless it's a new introduction and we're getting a lot all the time. Now, they had such a nice greeting before. Yeah, she didn't mean in a physical sense, I see. What, so she wants to assume his position in this world? I mean, she's making it difficult for herself to start off replacing him like this. Well, a series of weird events and then trying to go back into normal. She really didn't assume that there'd be those that were so obsessed with him they'd follow to the end of the earth. They can share. Don't need to fight anymore. We're playing this game. Answer me this thing that only the real Shido would know. I mean, If you need to fool someone, you... How much has she been sniffing him? You don't try and fool Toka and Origami. She has her timing down pat. What else is leaning to the left? Yeah, picked up on that one pretty quick. I mean, if they saw through it, it's not perfect. You still could use a little practice. Is she going to try and fly off again? But now that they know that there's an imposter amongst them, they're not going to fall for cheap tricks like this. And there's these two, which will probably now believe him in the... it wasn't me that went around doing those things. At least Origami got the best out of the deal. That would knock the wind out of you. So, be on your toes no matter what. I mean, sure, but first he's got to try and figure out what it is that he did. And what was on the back just now? Ah. Sure, but is it filled with anthrax? And the next one would be the... Yeah, there we go. Wait, what was the last one? I didn't actually see that. Ah. Oh, it was Toka. So if she can't take Shido's place, there's at least a few of them on those lists where I don't think it really matters if they're replaced. It was wearing the white ribbons. Yeah, the cards are on the table now. It's not such a easy fight. At least one of them might get some more vocabulary. So how are we going to find it out? New season, new ending, and new opening. Oh, I saw Westcott. But a very self-conscious spirit who doesn't like their true form, whatever form that actually takes, feels the need to lash out and impersonate and ruin the lives of anyone that may even slightly have seen it. It's like the shy guy of spirits, just without the immediate limb tearing. I wonder how long it's going to be before there's another big... Oh, obviously this one's not the real whoever. Or if it is just one big double bluff and they're all who they say they are. And it's just trying to instill a little bit of doubt. Let's hope no one's had a little change of heart or a New Year's resolution. But the idea of just bringing in a new spirit to cause trouble, and of course Shido being unlucky in the fact that just a sudden dust storm went past. Much like Miku having to come to the realization that not everyone is the same. There's some people that she can put her trust in. And is this spirit going to be much the same? Natsume has to learn that, you can be yourself. You only asked in this witch form, you didn't ask about the original. How is he to know that there's something that she's heavily critical about? Yeah, getting a little done with this episode, but for a reason. It wasn't the Ratatoska guys being able to control the entire section of town kind of dumb, like in that one episode long ago. This one had a more magical twist, which, in the sense of kind of illusions, I like that. And the idea that it is now a Guess Who competition, the fact that are we going to be able to tell as well? Obviously, Origami and Toga have a bit of a head start over us, trying to figure out which Shido is the real one. Smell isn't something we can really get through the screen, after all. But is it going to be a little easier for us to decipher? If one of them isn't obsessed with his phone, if this Toka no longer likes soy flour, if someone has more than one word. And kind of like when I saw and didn't see Toka at the end of those photos, I would have found it incredibly funny if there was just a random person who we hadn't been introduced to yet. It's like, one of these people will disappear. It's like, wait, who's that? Would have made the competition a little more difficult. So I have no idea. I have no prior knowledge. But Daily Live is allowed to be a little silly. I do like Origami keeping up to her true nature. Not really living up to conventional logic or wisdom. Just knows what she wants. If his name and whatnot is already dragged through the gutter, might as well let her be in on it as well. There were several sections where this show could have went a little off the rails again. Kind of like when Kotori was jumping over the sofa. Kind of gave you an idea. It was like, please don't, please don't, please don't. And then it ended, oh, thank goodness. In fact, it kind of draws on that. You know what Daily Life is like, right? And in fact, it can play on that and make a joke about it. And then not deliver what we're expecting. But there's actually a few subversions, whether it be food, panty shots, or... No, I don't actually have a third one. But 2 is better than none. All Shido has to do now is try to ease things out with the rest of the class. Sure, Toka and Origami now know that he's somewhat innocent. Are they just going to think that... Well, you already like him. We can't take your word for it. Let's get the police involved, see what they have to say on the matter. These kind of actions in school were not allowed. Have to find out on the next episode, I guess. So, if you've enjoyed Daily Live, let me know. If this episode has done anything to entertain you, maybe leave a like on the video. And subscribe if you don't want to miss out future uploads. Maybe you can join onto my Discord so you can see any notifications, new shows, new votes, memes, good and bad. But for now, get yourselves a bit of a rest, because I want to see you for the next one. If I ever get replaced, at least I know that someone out there might notice. And although the number is very few, it may include Sal, Guado, Kite, Ruben Filamawa, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else. Because without them, this channel wouldn't exist. So at least someone pays enough attention to know when things are a little bit wrong. And if you too would like to fight back against body snatchers, consider joining onto my Patreon as well.